Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel, and if you're watching this, that means the Home Run Derby is happening tonight. So I wanted to put together my bracket. I mean, it's not it's not like March Madness, is very quick, but who I think is going to win and what I think the other rounds are going to look like. I've submitted one already, but didn't do it on video, so I wanted to let y'all know my thoughts and reasoning behind it. I'd like to point out as well, someone mentioned this to me the other day, that a lot of the top home run guys are not in this because Shohei's number one. He has 32 home runs, so he's number one just outright. But Gallo is number two at, like 22 or 23 home runs, whatever he has. And that is definitely not number two in all of baseball. So it's because of guys like Vlad Jr. and Tatis that didn't want to do it. I think Vlad Jr. cited like mental health and wanting to let his body rest and stuff, which is fair. He has an aggressive swing, so do not want to mess that swing up. And Fernando Tatis has shoulder injury issues. Already been down a couple times this year, so after signing that big extension, that's the last thing he needs is a season-ending injury. So without any further ado, let's get right into it. Round one, I ain't even got to think about it. Shohei all day. Juan Soto obviously has power, but I think he only has like 10 home runs this year in roughly the same amount of at-bats as Shohei because he's been batting every day. Then the next side of that bracket is Salvador Perez and Pete Alonso. Salvador Perez is a little bit slept on, and Pete Alonso has hit 50 home runs before. So this was a tough pick, but I think I'm still going to go with the polar bear, Pete Alonso. Man's got too much power, and I don't know. I mean, it's going to be tough to really say because in these derbies, you could hit 50 home runs in the first half, but still lose the derby. If you have the ability to hit home runs at a high pace without tiring yourself out within like the 5-minute window of the rounds, that is how you win. And you don't want to hit like 30 home runs in the first round. I think the record is 20-something. I know Josh Hamilton's gotten close to the record or tied it. I think Stanton maybe broke it, but that is the key with the home run derby, is to hit low line drives and not tire yourself out. Much easier said than done, of course, because one, whoever's pitching to you has to pitch it where you like, and two, with such a time constraint, it's not always that easy. You just hit it. You want to make sure it gets out of there. I don't think that'll be a problem in Coors Field, though, because it's juiced baseballs inside a Coors Field. I mean, you can't ask for anything more than that. I think it was 1992 was the last time it was in Colorado. So anyway, moving on. This one I don't even have to think about. I mean, really, Gallo and Story, come on. And then this last one was a bit interesting. I haven't watched enough of Trey Mancini to know his full capability, but I have seen a lot of Matt Olson, and that man can hit some bombs. So I got to go with Matt Olson. Now, going to the semifinals here. Shohei versus Pete Alonso. I mean, if y'all have been watching Shohei at all, he makes opposite field look so easy. And I don't think Pete Alonso is quite as good at opposite field, so I think that's going to be a big benefit for Shohei here. And then similar kind of things with Gallo and Olson. I don't have many memories of Olson hitting opposite field ones. The reason I say this is because sometimes you might be a little late on the swing or not exactly how you wanted to get it. So being able to hit it opposite field is huge. And for that reason, I'm going to go with Gallo. Now, this would be a dream finals matchup. I would be nervous, though. I will say that. Maybe potentially the only thing that Gallo has on Shohei is that Ohtani pitches every day. Or, excuse me, he doesn't pitch every day. He pitches and bats every day in between all that stuff. We saw a little bit of maybe some of those effects against the Yankees when he gave up 7 runs in like 2/3 of an inning. So I don't know how all that fatigue and work plays, because he does DH. he doesn't play in the field, although he has before. So I don't know. You got two of the best power guys in the league right now. I was very glad Gallo did it, and he actually mentioned that. I'm assuming this is part of the reason why he didn't do it last time. He didn't want to do it unless he made the All-Star game, which, thanks to his stretch of 10 home runs in 10 games, he made it. So I got to go with our guy, Joey. Obviously, a little bit biased, but I got to go with Joey. So this is my bracket, y'all. Let me know what y'all picked. Really, the only quote-unquote upset that I picked was Alonso over Perez, but I don't know. There's not many power-hitting catchers these days. Buster Posey's been on a little bit of a resurgence, but as far as I know, Sal Perez and then JT Realmuto also has power, but he only had 8 home runs so far this year, so didn't quite qualify. But let me know what y'all think, if you agree, disagree. Either way, tonight we're going to find out who has the most power and who can do it in the concise amount of time. That's the key. The old format, it was 10 outs, I think. So, you could take all day, step out the box, do this and that, and probably was a Rob Manfred idea because he's the king of pace of play. Cut it down to 5-minute rounds, I think. So, anyway, it'll be exciting. It's been, I think they said 4 or 5 years since someone on the Rangers was last there. It was Prince Fielder in 2015 or 16 in Cincinnati. And then Nelson Cruz in St. Louis in 2009, which is ironic for a lot of reasons. And, of course, Josh Hamilton's performance in 2008. So, with all that being said, I'll talk to y'all later.